We're 2.5 hours into trading. It is Tuesday, October 26th. Hello, traders. Let's take a look at my last pick. I put a video out Sunday night. I highlighted IMAX. IMAX, what a dog. You can see how it opened here. First candle of the day is a long red engulfing candle. Warning sign, do not enter. You can see how the stock continues to sell off. You'll also notice some arrows. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second. There was a nice little opportunity to get long in here. Had some relative strength to the market. You can see the red arrows are catching a short in here. Nice little short right in there. In any event, IMAX has not been able to get through the open from Monday morning, and it's had some fairly heavy selling pressure. Ugly pick. You should not have bought this. It did not show you any relative strength to the market. Once you saw this pullback in here, you should have been on guard. Had an opportunity to maybe trade from alongside a little bit right there. Take a look at the daily chart. Daily chart trying to get through this resistance. We're through the halfway point of this long green candle. Looks a little bit weak right now. I would not be entering that. So let's take a look at the market. These are some long red candles. I am currently short, in fact, at SPY 457.30, which is up here. So I've got a nice little breakdown through the low of the day. It looks like we're going to fill in some of this gap. Take a look at the daily chart. Off to the races with this market. We have a nice breakout to a new high, but here's the one thing that you need to be very careful about when you're trading S&P 500 and you get a gap up. Gaps up to a new high have oftentimes been faded, and you get these long red candles like that. So you need to be very, very careful. The other thing is that when you get a pullback like this and a new rally to a new all-time high, the price action gets very, very compressed. Get your pullback in here, compress little price action, grind, grind, grind. As soon as this move starts to run out of steam, look out below. Same thing here. Get your drop, get back to the all-time high, grind, 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 tiny little doji candles. The other big thing that we have to take into account is the volume on the S&P 500. It has been very light during this big rally that we've had. You can see down here how the volume has continued to decline. Let me free up a little bit of room on the chart. We'll take the 1 OSI indicator off. I want to drive this point home because this means that buyers are not super engaged. Yes, earnings season coming up. We had Facebook yesterday. Facebook missed revenues. Don't recall the last time that happened, but they did beat on the bottom line. Market did not like the news. Facebook is actually a pretty decent looking short. Look at that breakdown below the 200-day moving average. Let's put the 5-minute chart up. Yes, relative weakness. You can see how the system has been picking up this weakness. So let me tell you about my new trading system. I've been spending a lot of time the last 2 months trying to see if I could take the 1OP indicator that I designed for the S&P 500 and apply it to individual stocks. It works great. The only thing is you need stocks with momentum, directional movement. Then it works beautifully. Now they can be up like mad and then down like mad and then up like mad intraday. That works fine. Or they can simply be directional, as we see with Facebook. But you can see these red candles coming into play here and these red arrows all the way down the line. So very exciting. I hope some of you will try out the Option Stalker free trial so that you can take advantage of these signals. Let's take a look at what Facebook did yesterday. Got a lot of chop in here. This is when you do not want to be trading it. Up, down, just kind of back and forth. But if you draw a downward sloping trend line here, you can see you got a little bit of a breakout here and an exit. Short there, exit. Again, now we're kind of range bound. Draw your horizontal line through the high of the day, right about in here. Got a green buy arrow. Okay, that's a nice opportunity. This is a beautiful opportunity. So 1OP is working great for individual stocks on a 5-minute basis. I won't know if it works well for a swing trading basis until I have more data. We're going to take a look at some charts and I'll show you how it's been working. So let's go through, take a look at the market. Right now it's been in gangbuster mode. You do have a bearish hammer right here. For the day, I believe that we're going to see a little bit of selling pressure, fill in this gap here. Maybe we get a little late day bounce. Microsoft and Google report after the close today. This is really important. We have not seen stock valuations this high since the tech bubble of 2000. So know that stocks are rich by any historic measure. If we take a look at what happened to Facebook, sold off after the news. Take a look at what happened with Tesla, it sold off after the news. Now it rallied like gangbusters. That's been just an unbelievable stock. Netflix sold off after the news, then it also rallied. The concerning releases that I've seen so far have been on Snapchat, SNAP, and that was a precursor to Facebook missing. Go into that daily chart, you can see how Snapchat sold off big time because ad revenues were down. Now they blamed iPhone for it, but I've also heard a lot of people in the ad agency saying, hey, if I don't have any cars to sell, why am I going to advertise? And car manufacturers, as you know from NFL and all the other sporting events and TV programs, are huge advertisers. Why would they advertise when they can't deliver cars right now? So that may be the case for a lot of other companies too that don't have products to put on the shelves because they have supply disruptions and supply shortages. So market completely ignores Snap, INTC. Now Intel has some of its own issues because many other companies like Apple are starting to manufacture their own chips, but it does have a broader based implication on the market because these computer chips are used in so many different products. Look at that drop in Intel, really weak today. What does the market think about this? Nothing. Market's making a new all-time high, completely discounting all of this news. How the market reacts to Google and Microsoft after the close today, how it reacts to Amazon and Apple after the close on Thursday is going to determine market direction. It's going to determine how much gas is left in the tank. I think buyers are going to be relatively passive until they see those two puzzle pieces. Then you get through the week. Well, next week we have the FOMC meeting on Wednesday. We could possibly hear that tapering is on the table and it's going to start. That's not technically tightening, but it is a form of tightening where the government's going to be purchasing less treasuries. They're still the largest purchaser of treasuries. So that's another potential little dark cloud out there. Am I bearish? No, I am not bearish, but I am watching the market for opportunities on both sides. So it's critically important to understand that. You can see we had a nice bearish cross on the 10P indicator right up in here. You've got to wait for a breakdown. So you get a little bit of a pullback. We have a double top lower high, and you wait for this support level to be breached right here. We got this pullback. We ran up halfway up this long red candle. This was a warning sign. This was a key bar. Market retraces immediately. This is where I got short when I saw this red candle coming right in after it. It's like, okay, we've got some decent selling pressure here, and we're going to fill in some of this gap. So yes, I'm trading on both sides of the market. I'm going to show you a long pick today. I'm going to show you a short pick. I'm going to show you how the trade signals are lining up. And here you can see right in here, there was a bullish cross on the 10P indicator. And when we got this big red candle on that bullish cross, that was also a warning sign. Now we've got a bearish cross coming into play right in here on that low of the day. I think we're going to continue to fall back, fill in some of the gap, maybe get a little bit of a bounce late in the day ahead of those big earnings announcements. But in general, I think the market's going to be sideways trying to figure out if there's still some gas in the tank. So we're going to go in. We're going to take a look at some bullish stocks. We'll go into red hot, see what we've got there. And we have UNH, beautiful breakout here, earnings here, long green candle stack. We can take a look at the uh, signals, see how they've shaped up. Nice buy signal in there, exit there, buy there, stop out there for a small loss, but then it catches a really nice short in there yesterday. Little buy in there, exit right there, so really not a gain or a loss. Small loser there, but a nice winner right in there. So it has been long, and the blue arrow means that it's out. The way that this works is when you see a green arrow, that means you buy, and I do use the 8 EMA as a stop, so it will stop you out. There's a fairly tight stop involved in it. And when you see a red candle, that is your short, and the blue candle again, or the blue arrow again, is your stop out point. Now, if you feel that you can ride through this little EMA breach here and that you've still got a downward sloping trend line intact, then you can ignore that blue candle, or excuse me, the blue arrow. I keep referring to it as a candle. I'm sorry about that, the blue arrow. So a little bit up to your discretion on how you'd like to take profits on that trade or where you'd like to stop it up, but these arrows are fantastic. I'm going to go through heavy buying list. We'll take a look at what we've got there. NVIDIA, really nice breakout. You can see long here, out here. Now here we have a green that goes right to a red, no blue in between. That is a pivot. So long here, nice gain. Short here, nice gain. On a daily basis, I do like NVIDIA. I highlighted this, in fact, downward sloping trend line through here. I highlighted this last week, and it has been incredible, beautiful, long. Win. I do kind of like win, and the reason I like it is because we have a bullish flag off of a low. We have a downward sloping trend line, breach to the upside, trying to get through this horizontal resistance. It is defying gravity right now because Chinese stocks are super weak. And that is going to be one of my bearish picks for the day. It's going to be a Chinese stock. Why the heck is China falling apart? Why is their market falling apart? We have global supposed economic expansion that should favor China, the growth engine for global growth the last 2 decades. And wait a minute, we're on the verge of a global economic recovery and China's market is in bear market territory. What's going on? All the pieces don't add up. That makes me very, very skeptical of this market float higher. So, in any event, you probably already know that, but China's super weak. When should be super weak? It's not. That tells me that there are some buyers in here and that the stock has a chance to move higher. So I do like Win. I don't know that it's going to be my pick of the day. Let's go in and take a look at how Win has done using the buy and sell signals that I have. I'm sorry, when I'm running the recording software, it oftentimes slows down my computer and I get this spinning. When I'm running Option Stalker, without that, I don't have any issues. So let's go into the 5-minute chart and let's take a look and see what Win has been doing and see how the signals are coming in. So Win on a 5-minute basis, you can see beautiful buy signal there, exit there, gets into another buy here and stops out right here, and now it's been on the short side. So very nice. In here, compression, in, out, in, out, in, out. When a stock is doing this, you do not want to be trading it. You've got to wait for those technical breakouts, then you can enter. So we'll keep going down the list. DKNG had a nice little bounce early, long there, took profits there, and maybe took a little loss, but here you've got a decent short forming. DKNG has been kind of floundering around. You can see how it poked below this support level, and now it's bouncing right back. I don't like that one for a long. GE, trying to get through horizontal resistance. You can see it's backed off of that high substantially, so I'm not a big fan of that. Choppy stock, nice little breakout. I'm looking for something decent. This is not bad. Flagpole, downward sloping trend line, breach to the upside, FSLY. Not too bad. Earnings coming up on November 3rd. Take a look at that 5-minute chart. Nice entry there, but you didn't make a lot. Went short there, lost money, got you long in here, and now it's just stopping you out. So it's not able to really advance given this strong market headwind. But here's the takeaway on this stock right now. So what you want to do is you want to draw your downward sloping trend line. Excuse that little tail. I would draw right through it. And if the stock can get up through that price point right there, I'd like to know about it. Why? Why would I like this? I mean, this is gobbledygook buy and sell arrows in here. First of all, really nice strength in here. Look at what the market has done. Down, down, down. Look what the stock has done. Up, up, up. There are buyers in here. That is relative strength. That's what we trade every single day. Mark my word, if the market does not fall apart today, the stock is going to be higher than the high of the day. It's what we're looking for. It's exactly the setup we want. Will FSLY be my pick of the day? I don't know. I'd like to actually go through and look at some other stocks that might be on relative strength 30, because these are going to be your stocks that during this market drop are continuing to go higher. J&J, really nice, really nice. Just through this little compression through here, good buy signal right in there. You can see how some of the other buy signals and sell signals worked out. Buy signal there, very nice, very nice. Little sell there, out there, kind of chopping around. So it's trying to find its way. In fact, a lot of stocks have been chopping around during the last couple of days. But anytime you get movement, you can see how well it does. PG, let's take a look at that daily chart, see if there's anything there. Not really, not through any technical resistance. Right now, I want breakouts through technical resistance on heavy volume. So I'm going to continue to look. There was nothing that really caught my eye there. USO, that is oil. J&J, still got to get through that 200 day. We just looked at that one. So we're going to continue to take a look and see what we've got. See what's coming up. We've got this market pullback right now, so it might be a little bit more difficult for us to find something we really like. Win so far has my vote. PLTR, I've noticed some pretty decent price action in the stock today, above the 200-day moving average yesterday. Very choppy stock, doesn't really tend to get much momentum, but it has good relative strength today. And you can see it's been able to hold most of the gains so far today. So I'm going to go into Pop Bull and see if there's anything there that strikes my fancy. OCGN, we already took a look at. Marvel, that could be my pick today. Look at how well that stock is holding the gains today. Now, granted, it's choppy. Here's what the market's done all day. Runs up a little bit and then just the first half an hour, compression. Then we get two nice little bars, compression for the next hour. Then you get a little bit of action here recently, but the market's just not doing a whole lot today ahead of major news. But MRVL has been able to hold up extremely well, break out to a new high. MRVL could be my pick of the day. 12.3, so earnings are in December. Got a lot of time for that one. I think that's going to be my pick of the day. It doesn't move very quickly, but it does move pretty consistently once it gets going in here. So look at that breakout there. I like it. Now I'm going to try and take a look for some stocks on the bearish side. Here, it's much easier for me to find stocks that I like on the short side. I've already shown you Facebook and Intel. I think those are two good shorts. I'm going to also take a look and see what I've got on bear run here. IBM announced. You can see how that stock has been tanking. Going to take a look at ice cold, see what we've got in here. Baidu. Chinese stocks, as I mentioned earlier, are super weak. Upward sloping trend line, breach right there of the EMA. We've got a lot of relative weakness on it. BABA is a stock I'm currently short. That is going to be your short of the day. You can see how if I back out that there's been a lot of selling pressure on Chinese stocks. This big downward sloping trend line right here. Let's draw it in so that you can see. But this has been just a massive decline. And we'll drop that trend line right there. not able to get up through it, and now it's starting to roll over, starting to break through those major moving averages. Let's put those up so that we know exactly where they come into play. Got the 200-day, 100-day, and 50-day. 50-day might lend a little bit of support, but look, we could not get through that 100-day moving average, and now the stock is already rolling over. Relative weakness, put up the 1 OSI indicator, orange line below 0 equals relative weakness. You can see how now it's below the 0 line. This stock is relatively weak. Let's put up the 5-minute chart, and there you can see beautiful sell signal, cover, sell. So again, here you've got a downward sloping trend line that you can use for your stop instead of that EMA 8. Decent short in here. The stock is very weak. So as far as my favorite picks today, I like Facebook and I like Alibaba on the short side because I think we're going to fill in a little bit more of this gap. If I'm looking for a long later in the day, I think FSLY works, and I think MRVL works. So those are two stocks to keep an eye on the bullish side and the bearish side. Good luck with your trading. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers, and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.